is deep yet full of jest. Come on in, you found the best. Between two giants here you'll find wit and wisdom intertwined. Laughs and knowledge hand in hand. This is the show that's in command.
Now we're recording.
I've asked you like 4
I hit
times.
the buttons.
That's good. Oh, the light's on.
Yeah. Bing.
Yeah. Hey, well, welcome home.
Yeah, thanks, man. I literally got off an airplane 45 minutes ago.
Nice. Did you get off? You're like, oh, it's not death in the little jetway thing?
Yes.
Yeah,
although
nice.
I did notice it was warmer than where I came from, which was Pittsburgh.
The P-Town.
No, nobody says that.
Okay.
I think P-Town is a thing, but not Pittsburgh.
Oh, I'm thinking of somewhere
P-Town.
else.
Yeah.
No.
No.
We're Steelers? Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, but some P-Town. They call it like Steel City or
What does Khalifa call it?
Black and Yellow. I don't know.
There you go.
Okay.
Straight up Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Anyways.
The Berg.
TGOD. What's up? How was your trip?
It was good.
Yeah?
Yep. Me and my high school buddies.
Oh, it's that trip.
It's the boys' trip. It's our anal trip.
Wow.
Yeah, we just pick a spot on a map and we decided Pittsburgh was going to be it. There's usually a roster of cities. We just pick one.
Okay.
We decided Pittsburgh. And solid town. Interesting town in the sense that there a lot of cities I've found in our travels are the cultural aspect or the cultural pieces of a city tend to be sort of concentrated.
Okay.
So think about even downtown Phoenix.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit downtown. Yeah, there's something on the periphery, but it's not like there's something.
Yeah.
And then you got to drive to another place for something.
Okay.
And then so Pittsburgh it's neighborhoody, I guess is the best way I can put it. So we stayed in a particular spot that had some stuff, but then you had to get in a Lyft or an Uber and go to another section that was a completely different flavor. So that was interesting. It was a bit of a pain in the dick, but
wow.
it was fun.
We moved from pain in the ass to dick, huh?
Yeah, well, that's how it goes.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to 50.
Yeah. We went and saw 2 rock shows. That was good.
Okay.
The first one was really fucking loud.
Yeah.
It's a duo from Nashville that I love. I've been chasing them for a while and I finally caught up to them.
Are they aware you've been chasing him?
Yes.
Like,
You again.
yeah, like he's behind us.
It's like they come to town and I can't go so anyway, so it just happened that but it was the weirdest venue I've ever been in. It was a sports bar.
Wow.
And they annexed the space next to them. So whoever was in there moved out and they just took it over.
They just knocked the wall down and be like, this is ours now. Parlay.
There's a wall. There's a door.
Okay.
But it's sort of an afterthought, like, oh, we're going to do live music.
Yeah.
I should say they do zero advertising.
Okay.
Like you walk in and you would think if it's a place that has a venue, there'd be some sort of indication of where it is.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You tired of watching football? Go listen to live music kind of thing.
But so the 4 of us in there with their dicks in our hand, like, where do we go? We don't, because there's TVs and pool tables, like there's no stage.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy in the corner who goes, hey, you guys looking for the show?
Yeah, we're standing here with our dicks in our hand. What do you think we're here for?
Yeah, it's through this door. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So you walk in and it's a bar that they're not using. Like it's a stock bar and a stage. The stage is small. It's like, I don't know, Valley Bar. You've been to Valley Bar?
Yeah.
It's like that, but a little smaller.
Okay. Very relatable for the people
who'd have no idea.
Yeah.
20
by 20. Let's
200
go.
people max.
Okay. Perfect.
Space. And I kind of knew going in, this is not a popular band.
Yeah.
There were 13 people there.
Damn.
We were part of the 13.
Damn. That's awesome.
And they turned it up to 20.
Oh, that's great.
And it's a concrete building.
Oh, that's perfect.
Holy shit, my ears were bleeding.
That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, but I get to meet him and so it's like,
that's the one you've been chasing forever.
Yeah. They're called the Friendship Commanders.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Check them out. They're really good.
With that few people there, they're like, holy shit, he finally caught us.
Shit. Get in the van.
Like, turn it up to 30. We're getting out of here.
Drown them out. Sweetest lady ever. Her name is Buick Audra.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't seem like a Chrysler.
They have like, no, she's not a Chrysler. She's like, I have like 7 albums or something like that, but completely underappreciated in my opinion. Anyway,
Okay.
Then we went to another rock show and we went to a Pirates game and yeah, Pittsburgh is a lovely town.
All right.
Went to the Warhol Museum. That's really great.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
It was really good.
All right.
Yep. I learned a lot. Did you know he got shot?
No.
Yeah. Someone tried to kill him.
Bummer.
Well,
He's a survivor.
Generally.
I mean, for an artist, that seems like a weird assassination attempt.
yeah,
How long was the person following him?
there was a lady who wanted him to produce a film, I think produce or direct a film that she was writing.
And he said no.
And he said no, and she shot him.
Wow.
Yeah, he
Jeez.
survived, obviously. But
Well, yeah.
and his iconic white hair?
Yeah.
A wig. The more you know. I had no idea. Anyway, facts.
Survivor. Anyways, should we do the show thing?
I guess. I'm just so excited about all the. I didn't realize how much I did a lot.
Yeah, I was like, want to talk about your trip? You're like, I don't know.
There wasn't a lot going on.
And you're like, oh, wait, hold on. I have 7 minutes of this.
Right. But I do need to take a break from alcohol for about a month.
Okay, so next week. I guarantee you.
Next week.
Yeah, in dog
In
months.
dog month.
Too slow. All right, well, we've been recording here at the amazing Calvano's. Is that the proper way of saying?
Sure,
Yeah, for a white boy version.
The
A
Calvano.
white boy version.
I mean, because that's my version of saying things.
There is a sign out front that says Calvano.
Okay, well, I don't know if, I didn't look.
You didn't look at the sign?
It's changed throughout the years.
Yeah, see, thank you. Thank you
is-
very much,
It
guest.
used to have the up there for a while.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
And then when I was here by myself, it was Salvador Calvano.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
then we took that down when things changed.
Oh, you just keep.
Yeah, you're like
you
the
know,
modern
painting the
man,
sign.
the modern day HBO man.
You know, whatever I feel like.
It's got 12 layers
years.
of paint on that sign.
Yeah, now
I'm
it's
ready to take it down
Calvano's
and change
Max.
it again.
Yeah,
So
sure.
now that it's done and clean.
Yeah.
Nice. So we have the amazing Sal is letting us, record here in his just dope space. We've been praising over and over, and every guest that comes in is like, "This place is cool."
We got to get cameras.
We really do.
Right
Like
now.
this place would like make cameras. Like people would be like, "I would watch it on mute."
There's a bunch of cameras on that shelf over there.
Oh, maybe.
I mean,
I'm not sure those are going to
Cameras
work.
everywhere.
I don't want to have to turn a wheel every time while we record, But
All right, stay still. This tin type's not going to take us out.
yeah, seriously, there's going to be a big poof from
In
the
boxes and such,
But no, this space is amazing. We appreciate you letting us use it. We've had some events here with our neighborhood association and whatnot. It's just like, got the pool table, the band set up, the outdoor area. It's just a really you would not. There's no way, and anyone could see that front door. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna come in here and get my hair cut, and then walk in. They're gonna be like, I don't want my hair cut. I want to just talk about this place. It's kind of the vibe.
That was my first reaction. Like, there's a lot going on in here.
Yeah, seriously.
I get that a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that the front you can't tell.
Oh, not at all.
The windows are super dark.
Yeah.
And the biggest reaction I have when people walk in the door, the first thing they say is like, "Wow,"
Right.
because they don't expect it.
Sure.
Yeah. I can't see the back of this place.
Maybe we should totally fuck with people and put fresh donut sign in the window or something like that.
Yeah.
Bagels.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like a Wile E. Coyote wall up right there. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, this is small. I thought that's smaller than I thought. And they're like, ta-da, But anyways, thanks for letting us record here. We appreciate it. It's such a nice space.
Yeah,
It's been so much fun. People have really loved it. We definitely need cameras, except for Michael's just lazy.
I got to work on it.
We'll get to that.
Let me know. I can help you out.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I got lots of cameras. I just got a new one actually too.
Oh, look at this guy. The gifts that never doesn't stop giving.
I know,
dude.
right?
I love cameras.
He's a giver.
Yeah. Man, my car payment's a little behind too. I don't know how much help you're. I'm just
Take
kidding.
some pictures.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
No, but we love to hear. I've been here, a bunch of times now. We've had some really cool events here. Everyone loves it. Like, how did how did this place get acquired? What is I want to hear the history of the evolving of it. People can go online, and look at the space. There's pictures online, right? The inside
Sure.
and everything.
Yeah.
I recommend checking it out. But what's the history of this place evolving? Because even we come in here and there's a whole bunch of art, and we come back in, and there's art's gone, and there's paintings on the floor that you're doing. Now it's back up. It's such a an adventure every time we come here. So what's the story?
I feel the
of
same
this
way in a
place?
way. Like it is an adventure.
All
The
right.
paintings are my kids. We were down
Okay.
here a couple weeks ago. They wanted to do splash painting. It's a little hot outside, so came in here and set up all the boards and
Yeah, the
get it off the
canvas is
ground.
out. And
yeah, they love it.
That's
My
dope.
daughter gets on the microphones, and so it's big playroom on certain Sundays that we come down and just let loose.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I've been. How did it evolve? Let's see. When I came back from New York City after 9/11, 2001, I kind of had an idea of opening a salon. Wasn't sure where or what. I worked at a place on Central, and then this was my dad's old building. It was 2001. He had it probably 30 years before that. He was making olives here. That's what he did. That's
Oh,
what
crazy.
a lot of the metal tables and the chopping blocks and
Oh, really?
the big sinks and all that.
So olive oil or olives?
Olives. He
Just
would take
actual-
he would pick olives from neighborhoods or, you know, I mean, you look around Phoenix, there's olives everywhere.
Main ingredient
And-
across the street's got like 3 olive trees, dude.
Right. And they a lot of them, they fall to the ground
Yeah.
and go to waste.
Yeah.
So my dad had a recipe from my grandmother from Calabria in Italy. She used to do them at the house. Sometimes we still do them at the house now. But yeah, it's a whole process. He would take these olives and he'd go to people's homes and be like, "What are you doing with your olives?" And most people would be like, "Pick my olives, please."
Yeah, like,
Take them,
staining
you know?
my sidewalk. What are you doing with your
Exactly.
olives?
Exactly. So he started this thing and we had a label for a while. He was selling them at AJ's back in.
That's
This
amazing.
is probably, 25, 30 years ago that he was doing that. And then stopped. So the building kind of became vacant. I was looking at another building downtown to open a salon down there. And it just kind of stuff was happening. And I'm like, "Dad, what are you doing with that old building?" And he's like, "Nothing." And he looked at me in the eyes like, "Why would you open a salon in that neighborhood? Like, it's not a, not a good,
Yeah, back then.
whatever." He's like, "Go to Scottsdale." It was like, "Go to Scottsdale." I'm like, "I don't want to go to Scottsdale."
Why would?
It's not
That's a
my
good
thing.
question. Why would you do one in?
Yeah. So, I talked to him like, let me make a living and I
Yeah.
would pay him some rent and see what happens with the building. And so over years, it's just evolved. You figure 24 years I've pretty much been down here. So different people, lots of employees come and go, girlfriends have come and gone, exes
Classic.
and dogs and, all that. So it's been a journey.
How long were you cutting hair? Like as a full? I remember like when I first met you, like it was a salon.
Yes.
I mean, it was like, let's come on in and get your hair cut.
Exactly. Yeah. I still do enough haircuts. I kind of narrow my days down, I'm a single dad now. So a lot of my time when I have my kids, I try to just focus on them.
Yeah.
Never here, when obviously they need me.
Good move.
I still take a ton of pictures. We play music down here. We try to play music every Tuesday night. It doesn't happen all the time because everybody's, got kids and such and lives and businesses and such.
Have you always had like, I've only come here a couple years. You've always had like the whole, stage setup with you had drums, guitars, you had the speakers. I mean, what else? Like, how long has that been going on? Has that been like a staple?
Yeah, we actually moved amps in here
First.
Like as soon as we got keys, my old friend Matt Arnold, my buddy Matty, we came down here and just started playing
jam.
music. Before I even had a license, before we were legally allowed to cut hair. So
The underground haircut scene is hot, bro.
true. Yeah, exactly. And even to the day, it's like I keep the door locked for a reason. I don't want, it's just kind of low key.
It's not a walk-in kind of place.
Yeah, no.
Right.
It's on the door.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
no
yeah.
walk-ins, please.
No walk-in, yeah.
By appointment. I think it says by appointment only.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like a spot.
And
Like,
once in
oh.
a while, if somebody shows up at the door and I got time and whatever, we'll do that. But usually I prefer to know my schedule, my days.
I'm interested in and this is probably going backwards first, that your occupational history is very interesting to me.
Yeah.
And I think the building reflects that. So can you walk us through like, what did you do first? And then how did that go to the next thing? And kind of the overlap in that and how that sort of projects itself onto the building.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of complicated in a way, but so am I. So it's I built a Pinbox camera when I was 6 years old. Okay, it was like a summer camp thing out of a shoebox and tinfoil and all that. So, and my parents, I grew up in a beauty salon. They've been doing hair their whole lives. They met in beauty school. So I grew up in a salon. My dad's salon used to be on 3rd Street in Camelback, Cutter's hair back in the day.
Nice.
70s, 80s, he was like the dude.
The guy.
And so I grew up there. So between hair cutting and taking pictures, I've always had cameras. I've always loved cameras. I've always loved just how they work. And, even like I'll show my kids the old cameras now. And my son a while ago was like, "Where are the pictures?" I'm like, "Dude, it's a problem."
Where do you put the SD card?
No, totally. Like, I can't see them. Like, there's no screen and But just that perception in this little box, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And now to this day, your iPhone, just to capture images. And I've always been fascinated by images. When I was a kid, I started collecting magazines, just being in the beauty salon, and these magazines, whatever magazines, would show up and be like pictures and pictures around the world. So you just, I was fascinated. So then when, studied photography in high school, had, darkroom access, understood dark rooms, all that. And different formats of film, different formats of cameras. And then when I went to Miami Beach first, to South Beach because in like, let's see, it was 1992 when South Beach was just on fire and all the models and all the photographers and all that.
So you're like, I'm on my way.
Yeah, but I didn't want to go to California because I'm like a lot of people from Arizona. Everybody goes that way. I'm like, I'm going to drive instead of 300 miles. I'm driving a couple thousand.
Put a comma on that bitch, dude.
I didn't want to run into people. I didn't want to I wanted a new life. I wanted to live on the beach.
That's awesome.
The water in Miami's warmer. Blah blah.
Yeah,
it was South Beach. Versace was living down there. It was like all that stuff.
That's my boy.
It is, right? He's my boy too. So
V-man.
Right. So and let's see, I was 22 when I moved there. Didn't know anything about the fashion business. So people were asking me like, who's your agent? I'm like, agent, I'm a hairdresser. And then come on, find out that hairdresser had agents. And I'm like, all right.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. And like,
you said in 22?
I was 22.
Oh, okay. I thought you said in 22.
No.
Okay, gotcha. My bad. Just clarifying.
92, I believe. 92, 93.
Hairdressers had agents?
They still do. Lots.
What?
Well, all the magazines.
Like the high-end stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All the celebrity hairdressers, people that are working on celebrities, people who are working on magazines, TV, all that, for the most part, all of them have agents.
That's so weird.
So the producers or, directors, there's a lot of people that go into these shoots and magazines and movies.
That makes sense.
So the agents talk to the agent and then they book them and they get the 20% and they get 20% of that or whatever, but they get you jobs that you would never be able to get on your own. So that kind of started building my portfolio, still taking pictures all the way along.
Yeah.
And then when I met certain people in Miami, they introduced me to people in New York, and one thing led to another. Next thing you know, I'm at the Versace mansion taking care of.
Oh, you do know V-Man.
Oh, yeah. No, I used to hang out with Versace. I used to hang out with Gianni Versace at his mansion in Miami, waiting for his sister, Donatella, to get out of the shower to take care of her hair. I took care of Donatella's hair for, a lot of the time I lived in Miami.
Yeah, you had a camera too,
every
you said,
couple days, every few days I was there at the mansion, literally hanging out in that courtyard, drinking espresso with Gianni Versace and his staff.
Bro, for the record, your pinky's up.
No, that's true. It's messed up, man. So then I just took my kids back to Miami a few months ago in front of the mansion. Now it's a hotel.
Right.
And it's like, Daddy was here like 30 years ago doing this stuff, whatever. They're looking at me. They don't know who Versace is to a degree, but like it's a journey.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a journey.
Insane.
To take my kids back to Miami Beach, where I started a few months ago.
Yeah.
It was a trip, man. Took them to one of my most favorite Puerto Rican restaurants in the world, and it's been there since 1962, I believe. It's still there.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Same exact arroz con pollo. Dude, it was the best meal we had, and we had some good meals.
Yeah,
but it was like
still be that long. I mean, come on, man. That's money.
So some of the streets, it was the same but so different. It was very cool.
That's crazy. So like, I don't know, do you have an NDA or anything? But like, what is it like hanging out? Were they like just super chill people? Or like, how? That's a weird
It was intense because I was like this, if I may, this kind of hometown kid from Phoenix.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden being thrown into the mix of high fashion. But I think that's why people really appreciated me in a way of like just being kind of quiet, cool, doing really good hair, taking really good care of people.
No pressure.
No, but I mean, I was a server. So it's what I did.
That's crazy.
And I wasn't all about the hoopla and the fluff, and even when I was backstage, because then I moved to New York, started doing some of the biggest stuff in the world in Paris and all over the world because I was assisting some of the best people in the world. And then you start getting, it's a ladder,
Yeah. Did you have an agent?
Oh, yeah. I ended up with a couple agents. I ended up with an agent I worked with an agent in Paris, my main agent in New York, and then I had an agent in LA for a while. And it was like, here I am, 25 to 30, just flying around the globe, big time stuff, big time money, fancy. And I'm sitting there sometimes, I remember clearly, I was taking pictures where I always had cameras, whether it be a little point and shoot or a nice camera. But I remember being backstage one time in Paris and just taking pictures of like the biggest shows and the biggest models in the world and being like, how did you get here?
Yeah.
How did this happen? No.
Like, why does that guy keep pinching himself?
No, it's true. It is true.
Crazy.
It is true. And some of the models that I worked with were, I wasn't all about the fluff and fance of fashion. I was just a good hairdresser and I loved taking pictures and
smashing haircuts.
Appreciated beauty and appreciated clothing.
It's pretty easy to do when you're a model.
Yeah. And then when with the Versace's too, I got really with them, we did shows in Italy. We did shoots all over the world, man. We did a thing in Argentina. That's part of the reason I play guitar.
Because Versace taught you.
No, I ended up in Argentina working with Bon Jovi in '95.
As one does.
Sold out show in Argentina, and like behind the drum kit, I could show you pictures of all this stuff. Where it's like, and it was mind blowing because I'm like, I couldn't believe that I ended up here.
And I think it's important to understand what time, like 90s.
Yeah.
All this shit is like blowing up.
No.
Oh yeah.
Like disposable cameras weren't even big yet, you know?
Big time. Digital wasn't even happening yet.
Yeah. And I would imagine that people gravitated toward the celebrities gravitated toward you because you were unlike the other people that they were hanging out with, right? To your point.
I wasn't good at talking. I wasn't good at talking about myself. And, it was more, I just wanted people to appreciate my craft and what I was doing, and touching. When you touch people and take care of people, you want to make sure it's comfortable for them. I wasn't somebody that's going to yank your hair out or hurt you or stupid shit. You just like, you do a good job. And
you were shocked where you were.
I mean, I'd ask the models, like, do you want a glass of water? Do you need anything? I'd do things like that where, like, fashion wasn't a lot about that, if I may.
Sure.
It was a very complex and very ego-driven, money-driven.
Yeah, like my focus is to not be a douche, and then you're just gonna skyrocket.
Yes, tried my hardest. Right, had my moments, I guess.
It's kind of funny. One thing I do is I said, like in this podcast, last guy we had on Nick, a guy I've known forever, is like a sommelier. Like he'd be so pretentious and such a dick, but he's like very not. And then like I've known you for a long time, hung out. You got cool shit, all that, very humble about it, never that. And then we're just all like, oh, V-Dog, I used to kick it. Man, they made the best bolognese, It's just this. Yeah, this is my favorite thing about doing this, by the way. It's
I
just
think
crazy.
sometimes when you have certain shynesses or insecurities of whatever, but when people perceive that maybe as being like, he's a cocky dick. But like, no, I'm just kind of shy and I always have been.
You're open and honest, like we're trying to meet a while ago. He's like, oh, you're so cool. Like, I just can't go through this. I'm like, all right, man, cool, man. I was like, damn, bro. Like, it's like the realest dude. And like, you've had the craziest experiences in life, man. That's so cool. I appreciate that. There's so many people that are like, oh, I did this and this is like everything in their life. And then you're just all like, oh yeah, by the way, I lived an incredible life, but I'm actually pretty chill as a person.
Yeah, right? Last night there was a Dior ad with Natalie Portman, because I worked with Natalie a few times back in the day. And she was one of my favorites. She was just a lovely person to work with. And once in a while with my kids, they'll be like, do you work with her? Do you work with her? Did you work with her? Because they've seen a lot of my stuff. We were in Macy's a while ago. And I'm like, dude, it was like 3 celebrities in the makeup or the perfume department.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. What was she up to today? How's J-Lo been?
And even I think my son asked me last night, he's like, do you think she'd remember you? I'm like, I know Natalie to remember me.
Yeah.
I know she'd remember me. But
do you, for the most part, and this is probably a gross generalization, but people like Natalie Portman seems like a nice person to me. Yeah. I don't know nothing. Well, like Jennifer Lawrence, same thing. Seems like a nice person.
Down to earth.
How far from reality normally are the people from their, personas we see out and about?
I think most of them are nice and human, but it kind of depends on how you approach them and what your first conversations are like or what your first interactions are like. Because I think when people see that people are a little starstruck or a little, then they get a little
defensive.
Yeah.
You're weird. Like running up with your cell phone. Oh my God. Like that's not the approach.
No. Yeah. I remember working with, I was working with Bruce Springsteen's wife. We were backstage at Bruce Springsteen's show.
Yeah. Patty Scialfa.
Yes. Yeah.
Patty Scialfa.
Yeah. Worked with her a couple times. And I remember going to their house. I was in the kitchen. Bruce comes walking in the kitchen.
It's just Bruce now.
He just got out of the pool and he's in a towel. And he's like, hey, he's like, are you hungry? And I'm like, no, man, I'm fine. I'm just waiting for your wife to get out of the shower, which is always a good thing to tell a rock star. I'm just here.
Saving my energy, brother.
But I remember following the bus Bruce Springsteen's bus in my Honda at the time and going through security at Orange County, at the show, whatever, and like backstage and whatever, and hanging out with the makeup artist. And she asked me, she had like this gorgeous plate of food. And by that time now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, oh man, I should have said yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she finished this chicken. She had all these vegetables on this plate. And I'm like, are you going to eat those vegetables? She's like, no, honey, you want them? I'm like, yeah. It was just funny stuff. And then I ended up playing Bruce's guitar backstage. It was like just crazy stuff that you're like, you can't even believe these moments of like,
Yeah, seriously. I'm like pinching myself. Like, am I in a dream right now?
Totally.
At what point does it, or did it ever just become normal to you? Or was it, or you
I
just
think it was
pitching
kind of
yourself? the whole-
always normal to me because
Yeah.
I didn't care. I always looked at them as humans, and I
Right.
still
not
do.
as
And good people, and you just showed up like Mrs. Jones books an appointment, comes on in. Like you don't know. And I think sometimes Mrs. Jones is harder to deal with than Bruce Springsteen's wife because sometimes she's higher maintenance than Bruce Springsteen's wife. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are just people.
And I think when
right.
they saw we're like, oh, he's a celebrity artist, people would come in and be like, they treat you like
Treat
a
him,
celebrity
not like
artist.
a
They're
human.
dude, I'm just here to do your hair. I don't think about all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Or they tell me stories about their celebrity experiences and like, you
Yeah.
know what? It's just I just want to cut your hair and do a good job.
Yeah.
And all this stuff is
Eventually, you're
stuff.
you just see Bruce come down the hike. Oh God, it's Bruce.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, so that time too, I had a camera during the show, and I took a picture of him on stage, and the security guard looked at me, and he was just like, he just shook his finger at me, like, no,
Yeah.
because think about all those shows back in the day, like no cameras, no recording.
Yeah.
Now everybody shows up with their phones and shoots
Yeah.
and records
all
everything.
they do, which is awesome.
And nobody's even watching the show. They're watching their phones,
Right.
It's just like, oh, that filming you did on your iPhone at that concert is like, I was there.
Yeah, but no, you weren't.
No,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
at all,
no,
dude. It's
no.
terrible.
I have my moments with phones and iPads. And
Yeah.
and I've got young kids. And
Yeah. I'll
they
go to
know,
a show
they
or
know
something.
Daddy does not like screens. I'm not a screen man. I'm
Yeah.
like,
We'll go do something. I'll be like 1, 2, 3 picks, and then the rest I'm just going to pay attention to.
yeah.
So you hairdresser, photographer, you talked a little bit about music. Are these just things you picked up or are they professions that you were like, I want to do that, so I'm going to do this for a little while?
I think it was just loves. Like in the beginning, I still love taking pictures. I still love cutting hair, depending on who's in your chair.
Yeah.
I love taking pictures depending on who I'm shooting, and they're cool. I love playing music. I had a guitar when I was 13, but I never got that support from my family. Nobody ever, and it's not like I took lessons or understood it, but I just loved it. So then after, and I know it sounds crazy, but like after that Bon Jovi show, when I was like 24, 25, I got back to New York City and I'm like, I need a guitar because that was like freaking insane.
Yeah.
Okay. So bought the first guitar of that era, besides the guitars I had when I was a young kid, but again, didn't understand them, didn't know how to tune them. I remember my first electric guitar, I kept getting shocked. Like there was some sort of weird, like, short in there, like, like, what the
G flat, just painful.
but that's the thing is like, if you didn't know, like, this is part of playing guitar. Like,
Right.
like with some,
That's why they call it electric guitar, dude.
No, like so then that evolved and started playing. And then when I moved back after 9/11 is when I just started playing more because I had more time. Over the past 10 years with having kids, I think I've picked it up more because there are certain times I'm not a screen guy. I don't watch a ton of TV. I don't like, there's not a, I'd rather, and my kids know that, I mean, my kids half the time are like, Daddy, turn that down. It's a little loud in here. I'm like, oh man, if it's too loud, you're too old.
Yeah.
What's our problem? And then they look at me like, what the hell? What is that?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Google it.
That's funny.
Exactly. It is funny though. Like, but then I try to get my kids to play, and they'll have their moments.
Sure,
and I don't push it too hard, but at the
Yeah.
same time, like, hey, if you've been on that thing for how long, give me 10 minutes on that drum
Sure.
kit, or give
Take
me
a
10
break.
minutes over
man.
here.
Yeah.
And they play. They have moments of like they'll be on one, like,
Jam sesh.
just keep.
Yeah.
So I just try to push it without pushing it too hard.
Yeah,
And
for
maybe
sure.
it's hereditary. It'll come out later. Maybe they're
Right.
like
Yeah.
so
And
passionate.
And I tell
Yeah.
them too, I'm like, one of these days you're gonna appreciate the fact that you had a drum kit in your living room.
Yeah,
Daddy's got
right.
guitars all over the place.
Yeah. Like,
Because I guarantee you, a lot of your friends don't Don't do
Yeah.
it. And I guarantee you a lot of your friends don't blow your hair out or blow their kids out. You know what I'm saying? Like my daughter, I'm like, you know, like I used to pay like $1,000 for this blowout. Right?
Yeah, it is there.
You know,
My agent would get 200, but whatever, you know.
well, that's it, you know, but it is what it is.
So at this point in your life, those three, the photography, hair, and then music, which would you say is you're most passionate about?
I'm most passionate about music at this point
Okay.
in ways of just there's still a lot to learn with it where, you know, hair cutting. I actually had a dream a few weeks ago that like I was in a class and somebody was like, I've got nothing else to teach you
Oh.
when it came to hair cutting. And I don't want to sound like a know-it-all jerk, but you know,
Was it Versace's daughter?
right, it probably was. But you cut enough hair, you understand the shapes, you understand the patterns, growth patterns, head shapes, all that stuff. You understand it. You know, I understood it. In my opinion, I understood it when I was young.
Well, yeah,
That's
you
why
grew
I was
up in it, and like
good
once you get a comma in your haircut price, like I'm pretty sure you've kind of mastered it.
Yeah. And so there were times in like hair school that I'm like looking at teachers like, I don't know about
Like,
that.
bet your hair's
Like,
busted.
Yeah. And then photography, I learned so much about photography when I was doing hair for other photographers in the fashion world in those 90s. Oh my God. I mean, I worked with Avedon. I worked with Penn. I worked with the best photographers on the globe at that time, growing into, you know, the younger photographers, but like I understood time, I understood light, I understood shadows, I understood all that stuff.
It's important when you're doing the hair for the photos. I mean, those two tie together, I'm sure. Like
Exactly.
they appreciate you. Like, oh, this guy, you know, nails it for what I'm looking for. And
Exactly. And it's and that I always looked like that as a band.
yeah,
In a way of like you've got a makeup artist, you got the photographer, you got the producers, directors,
Stage and shit.
the assistants, the editors, all these people involved in the shoot. That when you see that final image, people when they flip through magazines, they don't realize there's 15, 20 people working on that shot.
Hundreds of photos,
You know,
I'm sure. For
thousands. And that was that's when people would shoot film. So you figure how when I used to travel as a hairdresser, I'd have Super 8 cameras, Super 8 film. I'd have all this stuff. Like boom.
noisy.
So oh my God, I spent all the money I'd make would be spent on the projects as I was going and
That's
growing.
interesting.
That's crazy.
And but now you look back, and I was talking to my kids about this yesterday about documenting your life.
Yeah.
You know, like daddy's been, that's why I take pictures. My little boy a few years ago, we're in Flagstaff and he's coming out of the bedroom. He's got his duffel bag and his big old remote control car and another backpack and all this stuff on him. Like, get by the door. I'm like, boom, 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 shoot pictures.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, Daddy, you really like taking pictures. I'm like, I love it.
Yeah. Dude.
And to this day, every single day I drop them off at school for the most part. I take pictures of them either in the similar spot or a similar spot or a similar spot almost every day.
Yeah.
I mean, if I miss it, we're either really running late or something. But even if the bell's ringing, I'm like, get over there right now, you know?
Yeah.
Strike a pose.
Because I think that's the kids grow up so fast. Time changes so fast. And so to document, you look next door in my archives were like cabinets and shelves, and I have too much in ways, but when the time comes where I'm not around anymore,
Yeah, I was
you
there.
hope to God somebody finds it and does something cool, because you're like, wow, look at the life you lived.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You mentioned screens before, so I'm of two minds. One, I appreciate the fact that people can capture images all the time really easily. And, a lot of them are shitty, but nonetheless, they're capturing images. But I also am conflicted in the sense that the quality of the images, I feel like, because I grew up in the film days, and to me, there's more of an art with that. Because you have to your point earlier about like knowing all the pieces
More
of the band.
expensive.
Well, it's more expensive, but it requires more
Thought.
focus and thought. Correct.
Absolutely.
Now it's just like boink, boink, boink.
Yeah.
Which is nice because you're capturing those like innocent moments you're talking about with your kids. But the art form, I think, is weird for me.
1000% agree. So this camera I bought a newer digital SLR. It's awesome. Love it. But I'm like, this number, I'm like, I've shot 1,000 photographs and this number's not going down, you know, because I bought it at Photo Forum up the street. Okay, I didn't order it online. I want to be able to walk in the store and be like, hey, there's something, and to have those relationships, you know, with local. Everybody's like, order on Amazon, you'll save $10. I don't care about the $10. I want a relationship with the store, you know. So and she, you know, she explained to me, you know, like the chip's so big, you know, you can shoot all, you can shoot, you know,
4 terabytes.
It's insane. And I'm like,
why?
I miss rolls of film that limited you to 36.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Because when you have 36 shots, you don't
you
waste
gotta
it.
make sure that's the one you want.
Yeah. You gotta drop
and then
that
you can
shit
shoot
off
36, 30, right.
Yeah.
And then the thing is like, you know, number 22 was really good. I remember number 22. I can't wait to see number 22.
Yeah.
So you wait a few days, you get it back and you're like, oh, it was okay.
Yeah.
You know? Or it was like, that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always found that the film part of it, the shooting is one thing, but then there's the artistic aspect of developing it, because that's a whole different.
Yeah.
It's like shooting the image all over again. You can manipulate and all that. I just found that wildly fascinating that you can manipulate an image after having taken it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a lot like post-processing now. You could do that same thing,
Little
but
fixer, little developer.
yeah, but
all that.
it requires more technique and finesse and knowledge and stuff. So.
Patience.
I agree. And now, I mean, with all the apps and apps, you can shoot anything on your phone and make it look like, whoa,
Sure.
you know?
Yeah.
But I really believe that the initial image, the lighting, the timing, the clarity, the focus, the initial image is more important than anything. You guys have noticed the horse come around, the pictures of the horse. That was the first image. I shot that with a Olympus stylus with a glass lens back in the day, point and shoot. I turned around, that horse was in my face, and that was the first image that I took into the computer and started fussing with in the computer.
Yeah.
I'm not a big computer guy. Like I'm organic.
Yeah.
I like guitars. I like, you know, just
Basic shit.
basic, simple, old school stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So like to get that, when I got that in the computer and started fussing, some things were coming out of the printer. I'm like, I don't know how I did that. I don't even know what I did.
Yeah,
but it looked
crazy.
Cool. You know, and the colors and pushing this and pushing that and pushing this. But I really believe you look back at that image and the first one that's like color film. It's kick ass.
Yeah.
You know?
That's crazy. I know I read your post about 9/11 when you were there is important. Like the pictures you had up here, were those your photos?
Yes.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah,
I kind of figured I read your post. It was like really, really well said and, you know, emotional, you know, heartfelt and everything. But I was
thanks.
like, I bet he took those photos. I'm like, damn, that's.
Yeah. Okay. So growing up here in Phoenix, the biggest building was the Dial building, right? Which is now BMO. So, and Camelback Mountain, like that's how I grew up. So moved to New York City and you're underneath the World Trade Center.
Shit.
Like, you know, one of my buddies used to throw parties up there. We'd go up there and we'd wait on top of the, you know, like whatever.
Of course you did.
I mean, there was, you know, he was DJing and like, dude, it was like, it was nuts. You'd go up there with a backpack full of whatever and no security and blah, blah. And so those buildings were fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And again, I've always had cameras on me, whether it be a tiny one in my pocket or a big, you know, big format, something that you take the day and you spend the day shooting images of whatever. So I had days that we'd go down there and I mean, those buildings blew my mind. Every time a buddy of mine would come or anybody visit me in New York, like, let's go up to the top. Let's have a drink at that restaurant. Let's do whatever. It was absolutely amazing.
Bonkers.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you're sitting in a helicopter hovering the entire city looking down.
Crazy.
So when that happened, you know, I don't know if you guys ever saw that one in the corner, but like that was one of them. That's like the last. That's a print of the Polaroid that I posted. So it was a Polaroid.
Damn.
With a it was a 665 Polaroid on a big format, old school Polaroid camera that I shot on my rooftop on 9/11, and so you pull it out and you're looking at this image like I can't even believe it.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So then after that happened, you go back through all the other images that you had when the buildings were alive.
Yeah,
and that's how I say it, when they were alive.
Yeah,
it was just speechless.
That's
it's like you waking up one day and Camelback Mountain being
just gone.
Done in dust for 3 weeks.
Yeah, and just like devastating loss on top of it. Like woof.
Humanity.
That's brutal.
Yeah, that was a big day in my life because that put such a fear of flying into me, because I used to fly when I was in fashion. I flew every week. I filled when I was 25 years old, I filled a passport. I had to get more pages.
crazy.
They're like literally like, you can't fly out of the country again until you get more pages. So I had to get more pages in that passport.
First world problems.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. You know,
Awesome.
And
No, that's crazy. That'd be a big turning point.
I'm really blessed with and grateful for the direction I went, the careers choice I made, and the people that I met that just.
I think too, it's just like, you know, like you said, being real, you know, like something we've hit on this podcast a few times, just like really good people, just being a good person, being nice to everybody, being humble and appreciate what you have, never trying to be better than anybody. Like that's how you kind of just get opportunities.
I can be a dick, just like.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, trust me, we know.
But I'm a man and I'm honest. And I think a lot of dudes, you know.
Overall, you want our parents succeed in life. I'm like, just be fucking cool to everybody, dude. You never know who's
sounds easy, but it's not.
You know what it is? It's, you know,
I think being grateful for the toughest situations and the crappiest situations that you're thrown into, even, you know, when you wake up and you're like, you know, those really hurtful down moments made me who you are.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Good and bad. It's all part of the same.
Yeah. Not knowing Versace is like built me as a human, you know?
Yeah. Right. See?
Just kidding.
So you talked about music being your focus. Now, the other two things I'm curious about, you talked about kind of capping out pig hairdressing as an example. Does it appeal to you, or have you ever thought about flipping that into teaching?
All the time, always, all the time. And I do, when I do classes, do plenty of classes. I go to the beauty schools or do things here and such. Yeah, I tend to, my classes end up being more like spiritual or direction kind of things instead of just hair cutting. But it's like, what do you really love in your life? What are you really good at, and where do you want to take it? You know, I think when you see my body of work, and if you don't understand what went into that body of work or the years leading up to that stuff, where the sacrifice that you made to get there and to do that stuff. You know, I wouldn't have gone to all those shoots if I was decided to do something else.
Right.
That was what I wanted to do. You know, I didn't have relationships in ways of like, I didn't have many years. Like it wasn't about girlfriends or families or whatever. You know, I didn't have dogs for all those years and stuff where it was like, it was work.
A ton of models all around you all the time, just struggling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was hard.
Doing the Lord's work.
Jeez.
Yeah. I remember I used to work with Kate Moss a lot. And we were pals. And it was funny because somebody at one point was like, dude, why don't you ask her out? I'm like, she's dating Johnny Depp. I mean, I'm like a hairdresser assistant at this point. Like, you know, just can't see it happening, you know, but we were pals. And you wonder, like, you know,
Probably appreciates that, you know.
Yeah, like, hey, this is so nice. I really like this guy. He's the only guy that hasn't hit on me yet.
Exactly.
That's how you move up.
And that's when the shyness and the insecurities come in, where you're like, okay, you know.
Right.
I mean, Claudia Schiffer, when I used to go to her home and take care of her hair, when she was dating David Copperfield, when she was married to him.
Oh, he'd make you disappear, bro. You better be careful on that shit, dude.
I would walk into their apartment. Okay, and again, long hair, scruffy guy with this big giant overcoat and big backpack of hair stuff. I'd walk into their apartment. He'd be, I'm not kidding, he was in bed reading the newspaper. I'm like, hey, David. He's like, hey, Salvador, she's in the bathroom. Thank you.
He's like,
he's going right back to his paper like nobody's business. Like, I wasn't even there. Going into this bathroom that was bigger than my apartment in New York City.
Taking a shit. He's like, hey, girl.
That didn't happen.
No, not Miss Schiffer, please.
It was fun, dude. You know,
that's crazy.
When I first met you, the first couple of times I met you, and I saw that coming in here, I realized really quick, like, this guy does a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm interested because I think we talked about it earlier, or when I first met you, but. And I think you and I are wired similarly in the sense that we just like to figure stuff out. And I thought like, oh, when he just figures out hairdressing and he's like, okay, I've done that. Let's move on to photography. But what I realize now is that they're all part of the same fabric.
Yeah.
You know, you can't take one out and have the other two. I think they're all
tied together.
Well, it's how
together.
I see people.
Yeah.
When people walk in, I know what I want to do. And then it's just a matter of agreeing. If you want to, you hope that you'd come to a professional and be like, hey, I really don't know. I have an idea of what I want, but like, what do you see in me? What do you think?
Make me pretty.
Make me pretty. Make me look better, the best I can be. And we might have to, I might say, I can't cut anything. You need to grow it. You need to grow it.
You're
I had
beautiful
one
the way
person,
you are.
one of the worst reviews I've ever had was a woman that walked in and I'm like, everything you're telling me is you want to grow your hair. So for me to attempt to cut it and give you what you want is not what you want.
It's impossible.
And so then her husband at the time was like, hey, thanks for being honest. And she left and then wrote me like the worst review ever. And it was funny because I'm like, I didn't even touch you.
Yeah, right.
I didn't cut your hair.
Yeah,
so you wrote a review on me
about me not doing
about
anything.
me not doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, the husband's
it was
like, I just
one of the-
want her to have long hair. Thank you so much,
And
brother.
it was so funny to me. It was so
It's
funny.
interesting to hear you say that because one of our previous guests, Sierra, is also a hairstylist. Is it a hairstylist? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hair professional. But she had a similar, I remember her saying something similar in the sense that someone comes in, she has a discussion with them. It's not like sit down, plop, snip, snip, snip. You got to understand what they're going for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just didn't ever occur to
Communication.
me.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
it's communication, whether it be when I'm communicating with my scissors,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or I'm communicating with my cameras, or communicating with my guitar.
Yeah.
You know, and so even when I'm shooting pictures, a lot of the times when I'm shooting pictures, like I did right before when we got, you know, when you were in the parking lot, it's like,
I saw you
Whoa.
getting your camera out,
See?
getting your snip on.
yeah. But
I did the
so I'm
duck
taking
face
pictures
thing.
right now.
Sure.
If everybody and our listeners cannot hear the clicks. It's my phone's off because, and yes, I'm shooting pictures with the phone.
Yeah.
But when I have moments, when I see a moment and I see somebody in a position, and now my kids know this.
Yeah.
If I say don't move, they know don't move.
Yeah, I'm taking a picture.
I got it and I'll get it. Because those are the moments, in my opinion, as a photographer, you can't direct life to a degree when I'm shooting a subject and I've got all my cameras and that's what I'm doing. Yes, I will direct all day long. But when I turn around and something happens and you're sitting there doing that and that, those are the moments. And that's what I've learned with a lot of other really good photographers is capture those moments instead of trying to create certain moments, if that makes sense.
does.
And-
Like
and
do
that's-
this and that, and then you try
Right.
and take pictures. Try this, try that, and like
Right.
bam, there it is. you know?
Right. Or when they're there, if there's the littlest things like drop your chin, lift your chin,
Yeah.
move this, move that, move that. And
Sneeze.
that's, you just get better and better and better. You know,
Yeah.
I had someone I shot pictures of a few months ago that I shot her 20 years ago. We did a photo shoot here. I think not on this couch, on that couch, the big red one. Did some really good pictures here. And then we went to Yuma, shot some pictures of her in the desert. Now she's a musician, Sarah Bankers, her name. And she's like, hey, are you still shooting pictures? I'm like, I'm always shooting pictures.
Yeah, like right
Forever.
now.
Yeah.
I'm taking a selfie.
Exactly. Yeah, here and there.
It's the perfect moment.
Exactly. I don't know if you ever seen Steven Tyler's t-shirt. There's a picture of Steven Tyler and with a t-shirt on that says, go fuck your selfie. I love that. I love that. Because you can shoot all the selfies in the world, but like there's a time and a place where it's like, I want a good picture.
Yeah.
I want good pictures of my family. I want good pictures of my kids.
Yeah.
I want good pictures of me. I want a good
Yeah.
portrait where it's not like just the selfies thing.
Have you ever
know.
sit there, you're home, you're just like, sit still, talking to yourself, and then take a picture?
I do all the time. Yeah. Well, the funny thing is if you look through some of my archives, I was taking selfies with my Olympus. That camera back in the day, it was known for the like fastest, quickest point and shoot in history, and it had a glass lens instead of a plastic lens, which made the images crystal clear.
Nice.
It had a fill flash on it, so instead of just flashing and over flashing, it would have a subdued kind of flash, so it would just fill the spaces, fill the shadows. It was kick-ass camera. But I have selfies with so many friends and family and wherever.
Should have called them Salsies.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh boy.
Just
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
for the historians.
Yeah.
Right.
Nah, that's all right. Yeah.
Boy.
But when I get going on a camera, you get into your own world, and I still prefer to, you get into that lens, or you get into the moment, and
Yeah. Lose
you
yourself.
just get into it. You do.
Nice.
You do, totally. And same with music, in ways of like when you're playing with people, or just playing by yourself, there are moments of like you do lose yourself, and
It's in the moment.
it is in the moment. When my kids were really young, and I still do this, I'll go to bed at a reasonable time. I get up at 2:00 in the morning. I'm up from 2 to 4 because the house is silent, and I'll play electric guitar unplugged. I don't plug it into anything unless
You don't get
there's nobody else at
electrocuted.
home. Well, no, not anymore. I figured that out. Guitars and chords and everything else, but when you're in those moments of the middle of the night, because you come out of bed, you come out of sleep, and you're right into that guitar, and then you put it down when you go back to sleep. There's no distraction. There's nothing. What do I have to do today? Whatever. It just, but you really learn how to play. You start learning how to play, and then you get so into the moment of like, and I try to play in the dark, so you're not watching, you're not looking at what you're playing. You're just literally listening and feeling it. My little boy a while ago too, he's like, why are you playing that thing? It's not even, I don't even hear it. And I was on his bed playing my electric guitar while they're watching TV, and I'm like, give me your foot. And I take his foot and I put it between my belly and the body of the guitar. He's like, oh,
feel the
I
beat
can feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel the vibration. I'm like, exactly.
Feel the vibration.
I feel it too, man, all the time.
Yeah,
so then when you plug it in,
you can hear it.
Yeah. And I found out, I read something where that's what Eddie Van Halen used to do apparently all the time.
Your boy.
Well, he's not really my boy, but like he's a obviously was an amazing guitar player, but he learned so much by just playing. He didn't plug in. He didn't plug in until the band was there.
Just listen and feel
I believe that.
Yeah, and feeling it.
Seems like that kind of guy.
Classic Eddie.
Right. Yes.
So I don't know if you guys saw the last business card I made, the pink one.
Yeah, I have one in my wallet.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good, because the bottom, I didn't want to do a hair card. I didn't want to do a picture card. I didn't want to do a music card. I'd like it to be a little kind of questionable, like, who, what?
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So
It's cool. What do you think? So you've done these three things, occupied a lot of your life. What's next?
Yeah.
Or do you have a next? Movies.
Some storytelling.
Okay.
Tell these stories that I'm telling you guys, but the big story of life, other stories of moments. Like, you tell the Bon Jovi story and people are like, huh? They don't, there's a lot of little stories there along the way that, and also moving images, images, lots of video.
Yeah.
I used to shoot a ton of Super 8 and then I stopped. I think once, when you get married and you have kids, obviously your life direction,
hobbies change.
Yeah, things change. Passions change.
Start focus on the human you made.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like I try to inspire them to do things and see things and hear things. And the other day, my daughter after basketball practice, she's like, "I just need calm music right now." Okay,
just guitar right down the 51. Just
yeah. No, she loves K-Bach too. We all listen to a lot of K-Bach. But it's to try to, when my kids will see things like, wow, Daddy, did you see that? I'm like, I love the fact that you saw that.
Yeah.
I love that you were so
great
observant.
screen timing.
Yeah, well, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Or hear things, or we'll be in a grocery store, they'll bust out a song, all of a sudden they'll sing the song that's on the radio. I'm like, I don't know this song. Who is this person? And they know it word for word.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kid does the same thing. Like, I love that you're doing this. And then silently in my head, I'm like, it's awful. But
Whose
keep going.
kid is this?
Yeah.
Meet me in the produce aisle.
I keep trying to I'll insert like a Ramones here or there. And he's like, no. I'm like, oh, God.
Whose kid is?
I'm going to wear you down, kid.
Yeah, seriously.
AC/DC.
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah, brother.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
What do you got? Anything?
One last question, just because we do rapid fire, but these aren't, weird. Like, what is the highest amount someone, has paid for a haircut? I'm just curious, in the celebrity world, like the highest price, not that you got, like someone's paid this much for hairdo, blowout, like Oscar situation. Like, what do people pay for that? I'm just curious.
Okay. Well, now I've got friends in New York that are charging like $1,500 for haircuts that I think is absurd, because here's my opinion on that is like what, and without offending anybody, but what kind of human needs a $1,500 haircut?
Yeah.
So I was charging,
It's a mess.
I was charging $100 for years.
Yeah.
And I think a couple years ago I went up to $125.
Yeah.
Whoa. And that's something that drives me nuts, because I will cut your hair. I don't mind cutting hair for whoever, whatever, as long as you appreciate what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes my haircuts, I feel like, that's a $500 haircut right now. But I don't expect it. I don't ask for it. Even pictures, and I think that's the biggest struggle. I think that's what Andy Warhol said is like the business of art is the hardest part. Where I love cutting hair, I love taking pictures. There's so many times I've done things for free, and I do things for free, and it's like, well, just because I want to do it. That's the hardest part. And music, I mean, I don't know. I think I've made like $300 my whole life playing music. You know, I don't expect it to be a big giant money making career. But it's
why we do this,
right? Well, because you love it.
The haircut of the podcast.
My biggest money day in my hairdressing career was I did a job for Pepsi. We did a TV commercial for Pepsi, and Pepsi has some money. So and Philip Morris, they had money. Okay, back in the day.
Probably more than Pepsi.
right. But Pepsi, that Pepsi commercial, and it was a Pepsi commercial that ran in Italy. And I have it on VHS somewhere. I might have it on DVD somewhere. And what happened is it was a huge day rate anyway. And then they went overtime. Oh, shit. So then it was like, I was making like $2,500 an hour overtime on top of like whatever. So that check that I got from Pepsi, I was like, again, 25, 26. And it was like, dude. Yeah. So I went shopping.
Like, I'm going to stop drinking Coca-Cola and I'm switching to Pepsi. Exactly. Like they've earned my brain.
Right. Yeah. And then certain fashion people, like certain things, when I go shopping, I remember that certain people paid me. So like there's certain companies I support where you're like, all right, well, you know, why is he wearing so much Versace?
Not
that anybody's ever seen me in Versace.
Your bag is beautiful, dude.
Exactly. Thank you.
I love the bolo tie.
Yeah.
Well, good for you for keeping your head on though, because you get that kind of money when you're that age.
Yeah.
I mean, I would
Seriously.
do terrible
I spend
things.
most of it. I spend it all on cameras and shit. Cameras, guitar, same thing. Cameras, guitar, travel.
Yeah. I mean, reinvest in your business, you know? I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything else, Mr. Michael?
That's a lot to absorb.
Thanks, guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You want to plug the business at all? Anything you want to shout out for yourself at your awesome location here? Or?
What if someone wants to get a haircut?
Yeah. What's the, how do people get in touch with you and become beautiful?
Text me, you know, business line 602-263-1138. Haircuts or pictures.
Haircuts or pictures.
Can you
Family
get
pictures?
Can
portraits,
you get
portraits and beauty, and like headshots are kind of my thing. I love shooting people.
Someone came in
taking pictures of people,
and they wanted a haircut. Could you take their picture after that?
I can do that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lots of, and I always forget the befores. I always forget the before.
Yeah,
picture.
no one cares about the before.
I agree.
I agree. It was assumed.
Well, here's the worst part: is like sometimes you take the befores and after, like, oh shit, it looked better before.
I got lost in before. I ran out of RAM.
Whoops.
Nice.
Not with a haircut, but just like, you know.
Yeah.
When people walk in, and I like natural, I like, you know, I'm not going to change your texture or do something that's.
You need to go blue. You know, none of that.
Nah, I've been there and done that when I was like 13.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
pre Versace, of course.
Yeah. And we've done a lot of that for shows and such. But like, I really like just
meat and potatoes.
I'll shoot you a text.
Yeah.
Come on in. You got an Instagram or anything other social media you want to plug?
He doesn't like screens.
Man, I love it, dude.
You know,
right.
No screen, you know, my Instagram's there or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not up on it all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
just, you know, reach out, maybe, you know, text or give
taking
him a call.
lots of pictures of my bunny lately. You guys didn't hear about the bunny? I got a pet bunny.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Do you do its hair?
Ended up, I have moments. He's been one of the funniest pets I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah. What is it? What's the jokes he tells?
No, it's just like this little bunny that in the beginning, I'm like, what the hell? How do we ended up with a bunny? But now he's like my best pal. It's hysterical.
Did you go and get it, or you just showed up?
No, my ex found it in her parking lot, and so I kind of adopted it throughout the stuff and stuff. And but now he's like my best pal, which is
your homie.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
You should have him grow a pompadour out there. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Seriously.
He likes his carrots.
There you go.
That's for damn sure.
Classic bunny.
All right, Sal. Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Super interesting.
Thanks for getting us use your space. It's phenomenal. It's great vibes. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Give Sal a call. Get your hair did.
Yeah, seriously.
Right.
Yeah, he should see his hair. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Come play some music with us.
Yeah.
Come on down. It's jam session.
While you're getting your haircut.
Yeah, seriously.
That happens all the time.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a drummer, he's got a haircut.
Dude, I got people that come in, sit down, and like, what? We finished haircuts and we'll go over there and jam for 10 minutes.
There you go.
5 minutes? You got 5 minutes? You got 5 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah. That was a jam session.
That's awesome.
Boom.
Yeah.
All right.
Guitar.
Thanks.
show where two big minds are ready to blow. Conversations deep yet full of jest. Come on in, you found the best. Between two giants here you'll find wit and wisdom intertwined. Laughs and knowledge hand in hand. This is the show that's in command. Tall and talking, big in brains, making sense of life's wild lanes. Deep dive chats and fun remain. Bet you won't hear this on the plane. Between two giants here you'll find wit and wisdom intertwined. Laughs and knowledge hand in hand. This is the show that's in command. Two giants here you'll find wit and wisdom intertwined. Laughs and knowledge hand in hand. This is the show that's in command. Stone unturned, no joke too small.